Our next honoree is Steve Kane. Steve grew up in the Winfield section of West Philadelphia, 3 blocks from St. Joe's University. If you looked at his bio, he said he was a gym rat, and under the tutelage of Jesuits, especially Father Joseph Kell, Steve learned how to play basketball and acquired his love for the game. His statement, can you imagine a Jewish kid fell under the spell of those Jesuits and Catholic basketball players? But it's true. In 1954, Steve enrolled at Overbrook High School, where he competed in track, basketball, and it was the home of Wilt Chamberlain. He played JV basketball and varsity baseball. In his junior year, he dislocated his ankle, and that was sort of the end of his high school basketball career. But his ankle did improve, and he started getting involved in coaching. Now, he wanted to be a teacher and coach. His mother had a different idea. So after graduating from Overbrook in '56, he entered Temple University as an accounting pre-law major. He wasn't happy, wasn't motivated, so after 2 years he transferred to Westchester University to major in health and physical education. There he met a coach named Tony Hopkins, and trying out for varsity, he injured the ankle again, but Hopkins said, hey, why don't you get involved? Be involved in my program. How about scouting? So at his insistence, he learned how to scout for football and basketball. Coach Hopkins would give him his car and say, I need you to go to Kutztown, Mansfield, East Stroudsburg, and he did it. So in 1962, Steve starts working for the Philadelphia School District, and he starts at Edison High School. And he was coaching cadet basketball, and after 2 years moved up to coach the JVs. In '72, he transferred to the new University City High School, which was opening, and he became varsity boys basketball coach and first assistant football coach. Wanting to focus more on basketball, he put his time and efforts in girls volleyball. Although Steve had successful teams in those sports, basketball remained his love. In his 27 years as the head coach, and I saw some of your teams play, Coach, he had 347 wins, 4 final public league 4s, 2 final 2s, and he won the public league championship in 1995. It was a great run, and as he said, with even greater kids. He was honored as Coach of the Year by the Daily News, by the Public League Coaches Association, and he also received the Westchester Milplitz Award for outstanding contributions in the field of basketball. After retiring, Steve thought he would miss coaching and teaching, although he continued to work in summer camps. But in 2002, Steve became a spinning instructor for Philadelphia sports clubs, which I used to think it was just you stood in a room and spun around, which I was not really clear on. But obviously, motivating adults has been an interesting experience, but his years of coaching have trained him. Please welcome with me to our chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, legendary University City coach, Mr. Steve Kane.
I've been called a lot of things, but never that many good things at one time. I'll give you a little taste of the Philadelphia Public League. And it's a shame that I didn't get my book I've written, because there is so much to be written about the Hall of Fame and its relationship to the athletes, the players, and the refs that came out of the Philadelphia Public League. But before I get into a couple of little stories for you, I would like to thank the members of the Hall of Fame committee for inducting me into this very prestigious organization. This is the culmination of a lifetime of teaching and coaching the greatest kids in the world. And I also want to thank my family, my 2 girls, Jennifer, Emily, and my son, Evan, and my adopted son, Dr. James Smith Jr., who I used to tell him to do things when he was a kid. Now it seems like the role is reversed, and now he tells me what to do. But thanks, Smitty. I love you dearly.
Love you too, Pops.
I also would like to thank my wife, who is a counselor at University City, who helped all my players with their SAT exams and into the college prep thing. And she helped a lot of my ball players get into school. And I also want to mention my players and their parents. I have a unique thing in Philadelphia, and my friends can't imagine, but I taught and coached for 37 years. Never once did I ever coach a white kid. I don't know how to talk to them. But the black kids and I, we got along real well. We spoke each other's language. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You better say absolutely. And Mantua became my home. Mantua is one of the toughest neighborhoods in the United States. But the people down there have a tremendous amount of pride. There's a lot of crime, and there's a lot of pride. But those kids who played ball at University City, especially my players, if they listened to me and my wife, they wound up doing well. You know, Jimmy Smith, PhD, he's one of the most motivating speakers in the world, not this country. I said, where'd you go last week? He said, I went to Singapore to deliver some messages to some corporations. But that was so special, and I'm just so glad to have him here. I want to tell you a story. This for the first time. Nobody knows about this story. Smitty, I think I may have told you, but this is a story at Edison High School. Now, Edison High School is at 8th and Lehigh. A tougher neighborhood? Never was. And I applied for a job, and that was cadet football. Now, I don't know if you ever heard of cadet football, but that's made up of all the kids that the varsity does not run. That's all the kids that the JV doesn't run. That's kids that nobody wants. But you can coach 30 of them and make a team. And that's what I did. I got the cadet coaching job. I think I made $200 for the season. Well, as the season wore on, we wound up 8-0. West Philadelphia High School, coached by Ted Levin, they went 8-0. Ted calls me and said, Steve, how about we have a mythical cadet championship with these kids? I said, it would make their world. So I said, guess what? We'll have it at our place, 29th and Chalmers. And where are we going to get referees? I said, I'll find them. At that time of the year, it was December. We were going to play the Cadet Bowl. And we had just gotten, a few months earlier, a new department chairman. And his name was Art McNally. Is that name familiar to you guys? Art McNally became the chief official of the NFL while he was my boss at Edison High School. And he was probably one of the great men leaders who I've ever met. I went to Art and I said, Art, I told him about the game, and I said, I need referees. He said, I'll referee. Wait a minute, you're the biggest referee in the NFL. He says, don't worry, I'll take care of it. So here comes the day of the game, and here's Art McNally in his NFL uniform with two other guys from the NFL, and I think one of them was Tom White, if you know that name, who refereed in the pros. And they officiated our game. And of course, we won 8-0. And nobody could say we cheated or did anything wrong, because we had the best refs the public league has ever seen. Now, I want to tell you one little other quick. When I got to move to University City High School and I got the head basketball job, I walked into school the first day and they said, "Coach, you a new basketball coach?" And they said, "We have a 6'7" kid here who's a great basketball player but doesn't come to school." I said, "Well, I'm going to look him up." So I go to the roll book and I find his address. He lived at 28th and Wallace, down in outside of Nashville. Very, very tough neighborhood. And I park my car, I look around before I get out, and I walk up to the door and I knock. These little pair of eyes open up the blinds and they look out. "Who are you? Are you a bill collector?" I said, "No, I'm the new basketball coach at University City High School, and I'm looking for Sam Wobbles White." All of a sudden, he turns the handle, door opens. He says, "Come on in." "Where's Sam?" He says, "Just walk to the back of the house to the kitchen." So I'm walking back, and I start to have this smell in my nostrils. I go into the kitchen, and there's about 6 or 7 men, grown men, playing cards. The money's on the table, cigars are being smoked, cigarettes, and of course, some marijuana. And it smelled so good. I said, "Does this go with the job? You get high with your players?" So I said, "Which one?" And I'm trying to be this brave guy. "Which one of you guys is Sam Wobbles White?" And this kid stands up, and he's still heading up. About 6'7", 15 years old, and built like a brick Kremlin. And I said, "Sam, you gotta come to school. We need you." He said, "I can't, I'm a gangbanger." "What the gangbanger?" He says, "Yeah, we have gangbangs with Hoop Street, Lex Street, Wallace Street, the tops, the bottoms, don't ask. And they're all after me and they want to kill me." I said, "I'm going to kill you if you don't come to school." So Sam says, "You get the gang thing straightened out and I'm coming to school." Well, one of my dear buddies from Overbrook High School was Herman Rice. Do you know that name? From Young Great Society. His idea to keep the kids off the streets was to put them in uniforms and play every sport imaginable. And I called Herman, and I said, Herman, I knew from my Overbrook days where he was shot in the hip and walked around for the rest of his life with a severe limp. And he came to school, we had a meeting with the gangs, and as it turned out, everything worked. Sam came to school, we had a very successful basketball season, and then I find out that Sam, after college, he went to school down south at Hines Junior College and Lemoyne University. But Sam, he is the manager of a building at 18th and the Parkway, right next to the old Four Seasons Hotel. He takes care of the building, he runs the building, he's the boss. And it seems like my wealth management guy is in that building also. So I introduced Sam to my wealth management guy. I said, "Sam, you watch him and let him know that you're watching. Because I don't want anything to happen to my money. You know, all that money we make being teachers." But the story worked out. Sam has been a success in life. And he thanked me not too long ago for getting him out of Philadelphia and to college. And he came back better than ever. I'm sorry I spent a little bit too much time. I just wanted to give you a little bit of flavor of the Philadelphia Public League and the great kids that came through there and the wonderful memories that I have. And I want to thank Ron Cohen very much for helping get me inducted into the Hall of Fame. This organization is the culmination of a wonderful life. Thank you.